Herzlich willkommen. Come on in. Take a sip. Let's wind down on the Thursday grid. And it is a beautiful day here in Bavaria. Had a little rain earlier, but man, it's been nice. And so were all the comments that I went through earlier when I got out of bed this morning. My Lord, thank you so much. Can't even begin to tell you how much I appreciate that. Hey, we have a Michael Lieberman construction today, edited by Joel Fagliano, and I say let's just jump into this grid because Thursdays can be fun. I hope we get some rebuses. We normally do. Let's see what we got. See what we got in this grid. Okay, apparatus used in CPR training informally. And I'm just going to assume this is a defib, as in a defibrillator. Fist bump, yeah, DAP, maybe. Kind of acid could be amino. We've got to check this, though. Bird with vestigial wings. Colorful grain. Don't know, but I'll bet it's purple something, right? Like some handshakes, maybe firm. Okay, all right. Following the buddy system. I don't know. Got to be a little bit more than that, I think. Services at a mega church. Well, there's our question mark. So, okay, got it. All right, we're going to have a theme here. Tracking ballet company that premiered Swan Lake. And I hope I can remember how to spell this. It's Bolshoi. I think I got that right. And this is looking like purple something. Maybe purple corn? I don't know. Is there a purple corn? It seems like there is a purple corn. I don't know if there is or not, but I think it would seem that there is. So, wishful words, perhaps. I hope. And that in Spanish is, okay. And makeshift money. It could be script. Let's see. Is this an S? Word that looks like an alternative to tisn't. Tisn't. Beanpole material often. And I'm going to be assuming this is cane. You know, that stick that you plant in the ground next to a young sapling, or like that's in there on my basil plant right now. I mean, like it's getting a little floppy, so I put in a beanpole to tie it to so it can grow stem strength, I guess. And I usually think those are usually cane. Colorful grain again. So makeshift money. I think this must be script. And if that is, then I think. Oh, hang on. So art style associated with Henri Rousseau. And he was one of those post-type impressionists, and I think I could call him primitive, but I think this might be naive. And I didn't need to keep going with that, obviously. Back then, maybe once upon a time, and I guess this is purple rice. I mean, I went to TCU. You'd think I'd know there was a purple rice variety, but I had no idea. Not surprised. Abound, team, maybe. And what is this? Word that looks like an alternative to tisn't. Snot? Okay. I like it. So we're going to go ahead and team to abound. And too bad. Don't know. Traditional Mexican stew. Maybe pozole? Strike one. Strike one. Occasion to share dirt. Prep for a major renovation. 3 letters. I mean, ballpark figures. Kid. Okay. Department of Labor Division. I'm going to just guess OSHA. And really, for anything, just to give me a place to start here. Traditional Mexican stew. So I don't know if it's going to be a Z or an S spelling, so I'll just put Puzzle in without that just yet, because I don't know. Let's see. This could be T's. And I kind of have a feeling that prep for a major renovation is to gut. Just gut everything out. And that kind of gives me a hint to this occasion to share dirt as maybe a gossip. And with 4 letters, maybe a gossip sesh. Strike one. Can you believe that? It's a directive. Strike one. Strike a pose. Strike a pose. Vogue. Vogue. You know, I mean, like the Madonna's in my head now. She didn't want to do that whole thing, however she did that. So strike a pose. Okay, and this makes me think ushers. All right. Services at a mega church. Maybe massive masses. And you'll see, and this is a good reason why. If you've got 2 different variants of spelling, you know, maybe it's a C, an S, and a Z, and if you because you just have always been raised with spelling it with a Z, and maybe you haven't been to Spain where they may use the S more. You know, just maybe try to avoid it, because it kind of would have hemmed me up if I just would have just been thinking in the back of my mind that I have to get past this Z, right? So just an idea. Blank Valley, the Garden of France, yes, and also where my favorite brute sect is made, grown, and decanted. Resells on game day, maybe scalps. And I guess too bad is alas. List in a fancy witchcraft guide. No idea. Sorghum, for example. Okay. Liqueur, whose name translates as bitter in Italian, and that's Amaro. And I'm a big fan of the Amaros. Boundless. I guess that could be vast. And expressionist painter Nolde, and that's Emile. And my favorite work of his is probably Last Supper. Yeah, I'm certain of that, actually. Wonderful, wonderful painting. I don't know if I can even get a copy of it that's in the public domain to even put up on the screen. If you get a chance to look up his work, then definitely want to look up expressionist painter Emile Nolde, Nolde, clearly, just like on the puzzle here. And look up Last Supper. I think it's that's just one of his best works, but that's just me. I don't know. Okay, so Cleveland Hoopster. I think it's the Cleveland Cavaliers. Why not? Sure. So list in a fancy witchcraft guide. I said, I don't know what this, but I mean, I'm thinking this must be curses, and if that's curses, then sorghum could be a crop. That just seems kind of, never mind, not. Okay, crop, got it. Pinto bean, a crop. I mean, depending on who's growing it and for what reason. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I just need to leave that alone. I don't want to be so judgmental today. I'm sorry. Following the buddy system may be in pairs. Okay, well that's starting to come together for us. Bug specialist, briefly. Cryophobes fear ice. I'm assuming, though. I mean, typically consider them a fear of the cold, but ice is definitely cold. Gala garb, maybe a tux. Lead into sphere. It could be an O or an I guess, but I think exosphere. And this looks like it may be list in a fancy witchcraft guide. Cursive curses. Okay, so maybe it's just It's the spell, but it's written nicely in fancy cursive. I like that. Okay. Bug specialist, maybe an IT pro, and what a tentative quarterback throws. So if we go back up here to 19, we've got massive masses. We've got cursive curses. So something tells me that this quarterback is going to have something to do with passes. So I'm going to go with the same theme, I suppose, as in passive passes. That's a long shot, sure, especially when you don't know. But you know what? Second sight for short, maybe ESP. College department that may pay students to be test subjects, you know, psychology. Spanish 101 verb. I mean, sir? It's the most important architect of our age. That's definitely Gary. In fact, I've been to a couple of the buildings that he designed, and two that I would like to go see. I'd like to see the Guggenheim, and I want to see the Louis Vuitton. I mean, the big one. That would be really cool. I just haven't seen it yet. And I mean, I've been to Paris about, it seems like a trillion times, but I've just never made it there, you know, so it is what it is. Way back when. Well, this is going to force us to check ourselves, but let's just put in ages ago and see what we got. Name on a poster for 1942's The Magnificent Ambersons. I think this is Orson Welles. Oxford Fixtures, Dawn maybe. Very beginning could be the get-go. Something a barb can hurt. Certainly could hurt my ego, for certain. So I'm thinking ages ago, seems like it's about right for thus far, and like a Zen garden vis-a-vis a zoo, and I guess this could only be Serener, which also sounds like someone from Boston pronouncing Serena. No, it's Serener. Airmen's supervisors. See, it's tough to say because airman is capitalized here, but that means nothing because it's also at the first of the sentence. And if it's a capital A airman versus a lowercase a airman, and then an airman would be enlisted with a lowercase. Otherwise, a capital A airman would be officer and enlisted alike within the United States Air Force, and I'm sure other air forces as well. I can only speak to the U.S. Air Force. Never was in the Air Force, but I worked for them for 4 years as a civilian, so kind of understand this. But I'm going to assume this must be sergeants. The old me is gone, or what happened between the first and second parts of 1928, 37 to 48 across. Maybe I've changed because you see we've got curses, but what has been taken out, passes, but we've got the IVE change. So I think that might be it. I'm really kind of pushing it, I know, and if I'm going to be embarrassed here, well, I wouldn't be embarrassed. I'm taking a chance. If I fail, I fail. That's just kind of how I look at it. I mean, I'm not here to impress or anything. I'm here to work through the puzzle, right? So I screw up a lot, as many of you well know. So one, managing moguls. Defame might be. What do we got here? Long letters sent to the wrong person. Do you see it in there? This is where I get a big grin on my face. I think I see it. I hope this is right, because if it is, it'll be awesome. I think this will be missive, Mrs. I hope this is right, because I love it. Shoes, slangily, maybe kicks. And all the other kids with the pumped up kicks. Better run, better run. Cardinal point. Have good chemistry with, maybe vibe. Cardinal point. Oh, beak. I had it in my head. I was thinking of like the zucchetta, like that they wear, right? I don't know why. Then I was thinking of maybe something on their rosary or something. I don't know. My mind. Sometime, maybe ever, and slips, errs, and I guess this defamation here is a smear. So okay, cool. When we got up here with this TL, that could be a little concerning. Historical setting sought and everything is illuminated. Okay, so this is going back to the Yiddish, the little village, the Stadel. Org seeking alien life. Okay, this is the search for extraterrestrial SETI. And let's see, fall and winter. Experiments seen in Oppenheimer, and those are A tests. And we had that A there already, but we would have known it was an A test versus an N test because we hadn't started doing nuclear tests at that time. That was an atomic bomb, so it was an A test. But N tests and A tests show up a lot for my beginners out here. Keep that in mind. N tests, A tests, those can be doozies if you're not prepared for them. And if you blank what the rock is cooking, I don't know anything about wrestling. I honestly don't even know what WWE stands for. I mean, I'm assuming it's the World Wrestling Enterprises or something, World Wrestling Entertainment. I don't know, but I just don't know. I need to take a moment to study up on that, right? So, is this an L, some sandals? Yeah, so I think these may be slides, and that tells me that this fall and winter here must be sleet. And I think that foretold must be prophesied. And acid, again, this time it's not amino, it's LSD. Cut and paste, maybe to edit. And I hope I didn't, in fact, finger anything in here. So I guess this is if you smell what the rock is cooking. Wine dregs are lees. And how do we do, Bob? Good. I'm thankful that wasn't all jacked up, right? That could have been bad. Oh, what a clever grid today. I absolutely enjoyed every bit of it. Not terribly difficult, but a few places could have hung me up, right? Easily, especially if I didn't know better to leave the S and the Z out of Pozzole, right? You know, and N tests and A tests can be confusing, and you can just kind of do stuff by rote memory. But honestly, it was just a good grid. This was a solid grid, and yeah, more power to the constructor. This is fabulous. This is the kind of Thursday that you live for. If you're not going to have rebuses to play with and be all cool and like the ones we had in the past that actually lit up and became all different colors and stuff, I mean, that was a cool puzzle too. But this is exactly what you would want out of a Thursday. So fabulous. So let's get rid of this real quick. And I just want to say that, again, the comments this morning were amazing, and I don't know how YouTube works, right? I don't know how the algorithm works. I don't know that anybody knows. I've tried to watch some videos and read up on it, and I get like 3 or 4 different explanations. So, and it might be that it's just proprietary, and it's none of our business, and it's just fine. And I've never wanted to see my sausage being made anyway. I just want to enjoy it, right? I don't want to see what goes in it. So that's kind of how I feel about that with the YouTube thing. But for whatever reason, it's putting me into the feed of some very thoughtful people, people like you that, you know, want to do the crossword puzzle, and that's just an amazing feeling. So I'm so glad that we're connecting, and I'm loving watching the channel grow, and I love having our conversations together. So by all means, you know, shoot me a note. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you have any ideas for the, you know, for this, for an episode, or for, you know, the setting in general. Otherwise, thank you for all the compliments. It means the world to me. I mean, I cannot stress that enough. Just so, thank you. Sincerity is something I cannot fake. In the meantime, do widzenia and zobaczenia. And as I would normally say, right, ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Tag noch. Auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss. Grüß Gott. Servus. Ciao. Take care. See you tomorrow for the grid.